everyone, this is P4L. In today's P4L review, we'll be taking a look at X-Transbots Master Miniseries. This is their MM-VII Scout Hatch, or their version of a Masterpiece Tailgate. So let's go ahead and get started with packaging review as always, and you get what looks like half a box, because this kind of is half of a box. This is from their first release, which is kind of a 2-pack with their boost, which is their wind charger. So I got this separately from another forum member, and yeah, he just only wanted boost. So I was waiting for the second release for these guys because I kind of like the silver legs, but I had to pick this guy up because he was such a good deal. So this is their tailgate. Here he is on the side here. Nothing really much on the top. You do get that X-Transbots sticker. You get his robot mode. Get a little bit kind of a 3D rendering thing down here as well as some warning labels. And then on the back here, very retro G1 bio, as well as tech specs with that kind of, weird red plastic that you use. And then again, some more kind of renders. Not really much, but it is a super tiny box. Like, you probably can't tell. I was really surprised how small this box was. I think it's smaller than even their Ollie figure, which it was a tiny box. Once you get him out of packaging though, you do get this in his little tray. You get a set of instructions, which are awful in the sense that they're folded like a billion times and then folded again, and then it's only one side. Like, they could have used half the paper and made it a lot smaller. And because of how small the box is, it's all like scrunched in there. I hate that presentation. I think that's pretty awful. But the instructions, I guess, are okay. You do get the bio card, which I didn't even bother taking out of the film. And again, kind of that retro stat thing. In addition to that, he does come with a few accessories. He comes with an alternate chest plate, which is more like the G1 toy. Has a lot of kind of like dial switches. Looks like a radio on his chest, actually. He does come with this little blue piece, which you probably can't tell what it is, but it's actually another set of eyes for his face. So we'll swap that out a little bit later. And lastly, he has this little handgun. Single molded piece. It does have some nice molded detail, and it does have a small bit of tabs here. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the figure itself. Open up the clamshell, and he comes in a little baggie. So yeah, to protect some of the paint, I guess. Good on you, X-Transbots. I appreciate that. But the alt mode itself is rather tiny. Definitely not in scale with some of the other figures. Here he is with MP Red B, or Masterpiece Bumblebee, the red version, the red body version. I keep showing this one off just because he's the only figure that I have in alt mode right now, and I just never display my figures in alt mode, so you can get an idea for how tiny this car is. And I don't know if it's that far off, but it just seems very, very tiny. He does have wheels that roll. The paint is actually not very good, so there's a couple places where, especially here, it might be hard to see in this light, but this is a very, very white, and the plastic is very off-white. Some of the other painted areas, though, are very close, so I think they used the same paint, and they noticed that it matched really well when painting the translucent black, which matches pretty well here and along here, but then they used it on this not black paint, or a piece of plastic on the front, and it just stands out like a sore thumb. It looks pretty awful. The other paint applications on the car are pretty bad too. On the wheels, there's some small paint details in the center which are off. On all four of mine, I think. Oh, this is like the only one that's okay. I don't really mind that much, though, to be honest. The rest of the figure does have metallic flake. Even the translucent black has metallic flake in it. The white has some metallic flake, which I do like. So, not too bad. These paint apps on the gold here aren't too bad. And then they even have paint back here and leave some of the wings for the alt mode. The bottom looks pretty clean. You don't really see a lot going on. I mean, you do have his chest here and a couple of hands, but by and large, it's not it's not awful. You don't see a whole robot down there. You can kind of see his face back here, but it's not bad. But there's no like storage in the sense like you can't, as far as I can tell, there's no way to put the blaster on, but that's fine. And I'm pretty sure it goes this way. I guess you can kind of do it this way maybe. I'm wondering if you can do it this way and mimic a exhaust. It doesn't look like it. Anyway, so yeah, let's go ahead and get into transformation. So the first thing you'll do is come back here and you're gonna just pull up like this, and you would just want to release these tabs on each side here, and then you can also pull down a little bit to release the tabs up here. Next thing we're gonna do, let me zoom out just a little bit. Next thing we'll do is come around here. We're going to pull on the chest. It's on a double hinge. Get that down like so. And we're going to pull outwards on the wheels like that, and it rotates around. Do that 180 degrees, and that'll free up the arms. The hands are a little complex. Sorry about the white on white. Let me see if I can get this a little bit darker. The white on white background, that does make it a little bit harder for you to see this. But to get the hand through, you want to open it up, and you want to get it around like this, so the thumb's kind of residing like that, and you pass it through. And that's how you get everything around. You're going to want to come up here, collapse this, fold this, and then while you're doing that, you can close this up and pull the hand out. Some clearance issues, but it's not altogether awful. Same thing on this side. Open up the hands, have it palm downward like this, and then you're going to pass it through. Close this up, rotate the hand out. Oh, I didn't collapse this piece, sorry about that. So collapse that piece, close that down, rotate into place, and close the fist up. And you can see he has false wheels here. I think like Sideswipe or Red Alert, one of them has false wheels on the shoulders as well. So once you have that done, you can go ahead and untab this little piece. This little center piece here comes on tab. You want to fold this down like this, then push it into the gap there, and that's how it works. We're gonna finish off the rest of the upper body just because I find this to be easier. Come around to the front, pull to extend out these tabs. I'm gonna want to flip these back, and you just pull on them simultaneously, and then this will release here. And then rotate these around, push this down like so. And then coming to the backpack, you're gonna want to untab this like that. It's on a double hinge down here. What you'll do is tuck. There's a double hinge here. I push down on it like this, and then come in like so. That's gonna come up to the top like that. And then there's a couple of tabs. So there's slots here, and then these actually have kind of clips that will lock into place on both sides. If you do it right. There we go. And on the backpack here, you just tuck these in like that, and you have a clean backpack there. The last thing you want to do for the upper body is deal with the chest, the front chest. You're going to rotate these blue pieces in to line up with his ab piece here. And then this is where it gets a little hokey. You have slots in these front wheels that you need to have facing forward. And then there's tabs on the inside of the chest, but the tabs are super tiny, and you kind of want to have the slots facing directly out 90 degrees, but it's very hard to get these in. Once you get them in, they're pretty solid, but I wish they were the tabs were a little bit longer, because I find it very hard to get them in. And it's hard to see, so yeah, this is definitely not in right now. The shoulders do reside on a double hinge, so if you want to get the shoulders up, you can do that as well. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have the shoulders tapped into the wheels correctly right now. Yeah, definitely didn't. So I'm not going to bother trying to do all this and get it correctly tabbed into place right now, because I could probably spend tens of minutes trying to get it in place without success. I've only managed to do it a handful of times. So if they made those tabs a little bit longer, I think it would have been much better. But yeah, that is the upper body. Lower body, you're going to come down, untab the two halves, rotate them at the thighs. These pieces that make up the license plate holder fall off incessantly. So you're going to see me deal with these probably a couple times. At some point, I'll probably just move them off to the side and plug them in at the end. So the first thing we'll do on the feet, which a lot of people have complained about, is open up these kind of undercarriage pieces. From here, you're going to want to grab this heel piece, this die cast heel piece, and you're just basically want to just unpeg this peg here. So just pull out. You'll see that peg come undone. And I'm just going to do one leg entirely, just because I think it's easiest to follow that way. So once you've done that, you can go ahead and rotate. Oh, I'm sorry. You're going to want to slide this this sliding joint in. I'm going to move that off to the side. Then you're going to take the whole ankle, not just the rear, but the whole ankle here. Rotate this through like that. You're going to have some clearance issues right here. You're just going to want to basically push through. I mean, you're basically just forcing it through. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And once you do that, you're going to keep rotating all the way through like this. At this point, you can rotate the wheel in. You can fold this little flap in like so. Get this wheel back like that. And you're going to extend that telescoping piece that we tucked in before. And then you can get the toe piece out. And then rearrange the knee. The knee is kind of on this weird double joint. Just get it back so it sits naturally. So the foot isn't that bad after you've done it a couple times, but it is a little over-engineered, I think. So again, from this foot, we're going to go ahead and unpeg here. There's a little peg right there. So once you've done that, collapse the telescoping piece here. We're going to rotate the entire foot, including the back windshield, through like this. You're going to run into some interference, just push your way through it. I mean, you're just forcing stuff through at that point. And you're going to keep going all the way around. Get the wheel tucked in. Get this little flag piece slotted in there. Get the heel down. Telescope it out. Arrange the toe. And get the knee all situated. And with that, you have tailgate, or what do they call it, hatch, in robot mode. So, robot mode review. 539 Designs, or 598 is what he goes by on YouTube. He does a really good job of getting the robot mode and the alt mode looking very accurate. He does suffer from having a slightly over-engineered designs. Like, a lot of people don't like the feet on this guy, and there are some other pieces that are kind of fiddly on all his designs, but I mean, you can't argue with what this guy looks like in robot mode. Again, let me bring down the ISO a bit. He looks really nice. He does have a bit of a see-through backpack here, but the backpack's not overly huge, and I mean, there probably could have been some ways to compact this a little bit more, but by and large, I think he did a fantastic job. The white on the heels, again, they probably used that same white that they color matched to the translucent here, and it just stands out. It's not so bad since it's the heel and it's the underside of the car typically, but it does definitely stand out. Same thing with the toes here. It doesn't stand out as much since it's not butted up against any of the white plastic, but they should have done a much better job of color matching that. That does look kind of bad. But otherwise, the aesthetics are fantastic on this guy. Here's his little gun. Opened his hand up. He has like the MP style tabby slot pieces in his hand. Just go ahead and tab that in. Does hold securely without the fist having to be closed up. But there we go. The only thing that bothers me in robot mode aesthetically is probably these screws on his forearms, a la MP Hot Rod, which just came out not too long ago, Hot Rodimus. So as far as articulation goes, his head is on a swivel. It's also this hood part as well is on the same swivel, but it actually runs into interference here, so if you have the chest pegged in and you turn this, it's going to unpeg it, which is a bummer, but you can actually articulate the face or head itself separately, and then you do get a little bit of up, not much down, but that's really about it. So no ball joint action in the neck. He does have double hinge shoulders that we use for transformation. He does have nice tight ball joints for shoulders, so no all polygon action here. He does have a bit of a bicep swivel, single jointed elbow joint, goes about 90 degrees. His wrists are MP style, just swivels, and his hands are just MP style hands, no articulated thumb, and just his 4 fingers on a single pin joint there. His waist does swivel here. It does look kind of funny once you go a little further than 45 degrees or so, but it's fine. His legs can kick up like so, and it's this entire piece here, not just the leg. This is actually, this hip skirt on the front is actually molded in. He does have side hip skirts here that come out like this. Now when you do transform him into alt mode, there's a tab in the arm somewhere that tabs in here. I think it's hidden inside here, but it does tab in here, so make sure you have the hip skirt down when you do the transformation. He does have a thigh swivel, double jointed knees, which are really double jointed in a weird way, so really you only get one functional knee joint. Goes more than 90 degrees though, so more than enough. His feet, he has double hinged toes, so you can get a bit of articulation there, and it also is hinged here, so you get some ankle tilt inwards. The rear also is tilted, or not tilted, but allows for tilting, so you can get both of these on the same plane if you want. And then his heel is on a single joint here. His entire foot doesn't move anywhere else, but I guess you could use that joint again to get some articulation there. If you want, you can actually flip in his heel like so, and I find that it still works pretty well as a foot, even without having it folded out, and it makes it look a bit cleaner. You're gonna have a little bit of less stability, but I think it looks much cleaner doing it like this. It's an option. Let me see who I have in terms of comparison pieces. I should probably bring out a minibot, but I don't really have access to one right now. There he is with MP10, doing his awkward pose. He's about Bumblebee size. Give me a second. You can see he's a bit taller than MP Bumblebee, but that's actually a good thing. Alright, oh, so yeah, these pieces always tend to fall off. They're just on the license plate piece. I probably need to just add some future. Alright, so very quickly, the replacement pieces. The chest piece, you can just come out here, and it's on a little clip. You can just, there we go, just pull that off. You can see these little pieces, these little nubs will go right in here. There we go. And then with the upper body, the upper hood, just go ahead and brace the back and just push just on the hood piece and do it towards the base of the head. So once you have that done, you don't even need to fully get it out. And once you do that though, you just need to push on the eyes so that they come out like this. Come on. You could probably use like a tool of some sort. Let me just use his other set of eyes to see if I can push it out. There we go. And it's just held in with friction. Just get the other eyes in place and it slots in. I find that the replacement eyes are a little bit looser, so again, you might need to use some future. And then once you're done with that, just go ahead and slide that hood piece back in and you'll get a definitive click. And you can see this looks much more like the IDW look. I really like this version better. I'm probably going to replace the chest with this one because I like the cleaner chest where I can put the Autobot logo. But if you like this toy look, you can do that as well. yeah, but that's really it. I'm not even gonna bother trying to tab the chest back in for now, since we're gonna go back into alt mode. First thing we'll do is get rid of the gun. Second thing we'll do is deal with the legs. The legs, we're gonna go ahead and kind of fold up the toes a little bit like this. And the first thing we'll do is fold these down, get these flags up, get the wheels out, like so. And then this whole thing is going to rotate, like this, including the back. And then you're going to want to get the entire foot, or this little friction piece, out on the back. And then you can rotate the foot again, like that. Alright, I know that was probably a little complex. Stupid license plate piece. Gosh, this just needs to, the tolerances need to be done a little bit better there, but, or add some future. Next thing we'll do is slide this telescoping piece back out. There's a little peg here. You just need to basically push this up. But remember to have it telescoped out, otherwise you're not going to be able to clear that one piece. There we go. So just go ahead and push like that, and that'll get everything in place there. I'm not even going to bother doing this for now. Fold this down, and then rotate at the thighs. Alright, so that's one leg done. Let's do the other leg. Again, straighten this out. Rotate this down so you can get the wheel through, as well as this little flag piece up. This is kind of a superfluous piece. I don't know why they felt the need to cover this tiny gap. I mean, there's still a gap there, so they probably could have done without that. So once you get that done, you're going to rotate the entire foot like that. Clear this piece there, and then keep rotating all the way through. Telescope this piece back out, peg it in up here, and then push to clip in there. Fold this up, rotate at the thigh, and then tab both pieces together. And if you have this piece, you can go ahead and plug that back in. Now, upper body, untab this, get this down like this for now. We're going to deal with the back. Untab this piece. Using that double hinge, just come through and get that sitting over top of those tabs. Coming to the backpack at the top, just go ahead and untab these two pieces there. Get it down on the double hinge, and you're going to want to swing these two pieces up and around. Again, some clearance issues here, nothing too bad. And then push up on this little hood piece to get that flush. And then these headlight pieces will tab backwards. Alright. At this point, I like kind of dealing with this. Go ahead and get the hood kind of tabbed into the front and kind of get this straightened out like this, but don't tab these in just yet. Go ahead and grab this little black piece out from there, and it has a little tab. You're going to want to push the head back so it's looking up a little bit, and then tab this into the hood. Get these shoulders rotated down on those double hinges, and we'll go ahead and deal with the hands. So we're going to rotate this down 90 degrees almost. Open this up all the way. Open the palms up like this. You're going to push through here to this point where the thumb makes contact, and then you're going to want to rotate like that. You have a little sliding joint, telescoping joint at the elbow. Let's go ahead and push that, and you're going to want to rotate like this so the hands are on the outside, because when you rotate this all in, you're going to want that part in. Alright, so same thing on the other side. Rotate the fist kind of down 90 degrees almost. Open it up. Open the palms up, slide the palms around like this. Once the thumb makes contact, rotate it through, close up the fist, extend this telescoping joint there, rotate the arms. So once we are here, you're going to want to lift up the chest piece, rotate these blue pieces all the way in to the main body, as far as you can, just getting tucked out the way. And we're gonna push on the fake wheels to rotate the arms in. And this, we're gonna have some clearance issues here. You're gonna get this tab kind of slotted in here, but it's hard to kind of tell you how to do it. I just basically just slot that in first, and then make sure to get in like this. And then I basically just wing it here. There's no, it's all kind of blind tabs, so you just have to get this cleared, this little piece of the wheel well cleared with the door. Then once you have that cleared, which is more of a challenge than it probably should be, you should be good. There we go. And then everything kind of starts tabbing into place. Same thing on this side. Make sure this goes in as much as possible. Getting this tab kind of in that slot. Clearing this front part of the wheel well. Once you do that, everything else kind of gets in place. There we go. And then you just make sure these tabs up here are already tabbed in place if they weren't before, and then tab in the back there. Once you have that all done, go ahead and just collapse the chest. And with that, you have tailgate, or hatch, if you want to call them hatch, back in alt mode. Again, if you want to slide in his little weapon here, do that. Like so. And you're good to go. So, final thoughts on this guy. I think he's a good figure overall. Again, I love 539 designs. I think the plastic quality on this is actually quite good. I mean, this X-Transbots, but he's actually pretty solid. I think he's pretty hefty. It doesn't feel like any of the plastic is going to break or anything like that. He does have some die cast. The biggest issues for me are like the paint and the clearance issues. The clearance and the kind of over-engineered transformation make it a little hard to recommend to just anybody, but anybody who likes kind of the 539's design are probably gonna like this guy as well. And overall, I think he looks great in both modes, which is really nice. Oops, sorry about that. I forgot to tab that in. But overall, very solid effort. I think for the price, I think what is it, like $120 for the set? $60 is not a terrible price for this guy if you can get it for $60, or if you buy the set. I'm gonna prefer, I might swap this out when the silver thigh version, I guess that's the toy version? I'm not really sure since you get toy options with this one, but once you get that, once that set comes out, I'll probably swap this out for that one, and hopefully some of the little finicky parts and paint issues will be resolved by then. Alright, so if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you want to pick this guy up and add him to your collection, go ahead and click on the Toy Dojo link in the description below. And if you appreciated this video, or you liked it, and it helped you out at all with transformation or otherwise, or making a decision on purchasing this guy, please like, share, and subscribe. That's always appreciated. But with that, that's all for today, everyone. Have a good one.